Nobody can tell me that this is a grieving widow. Like, this woman's husband was publicly assassinated, 3 weeks ago, and she's already sitting down with a smile to host his podcast? Girl didn't even wait a month. I don't even know if they buried the guy yet. Holy.
That man. That young man. I forgive him.
This ain't no grieving widow. Now, y'all can say whatever you want, but nobody's gonna convince me this woman is grieving. I mean, come on. Her husband was publicly assassinated barely 3 weeks ago, and she's already out here smiling, sitting pretty, hosting his podcast like nothing ever happened. Girl, the man's body is barely cold. Did we even have a funeral yet? Because I sure didn't see one. And then she has the nerve to get on camera with that Oscar-worthy monologue about forgiveness. I forgive him. Girl, please. Even a 5-year-old could fake cry better than that. The performance was flat, cold, and way too polished. You'd think she was reading a script straight from a PR team. Something about it just don't sit right. Because a real widow? A real woman who just lost her husband in front of the world? She wouldn't be smiling for cameras. She'd be demanding answers, demanding justice. But Erica? She's giving peace, poise, and press runs. Baby, that's not grief. That's damage control. Did she know all along? See, this is where things start to get real messy. Word on the street is, Erica didn't just know something was about to go down. She might have actually been in on it. Yeah, you heard me right. Folks are saying she was well aware of what was coming for Charlie, and she played her part like the perfect little actress she's been showing herself to be. Now, let's not forget, this wasn't some random tragedy. Charlie Kirk was a man with powerful enemies, billionaires with deep pockets and darker agendas. And just when he started pushing back, boom, he's gone. But somehow, the one person closest to him, his wife, looks more relaxed than the people watching from the sidelines. Make that make sense. And baby, the whispers are getting louder. Sources are saying the feds are watching Erica real close, and if half of what's being said turns out true, she might be seeing those blue and red lights in her rearview mirror real soon. Because let's be honest, if you're the last one to see your husband alive, if you're calm while the world's in chaos, and if every move you make looks rehearsed, something's rotten in that story. The FBI, the shooter, and the setup. So let's talk about this so-called shooter, because baby, that story's got more holes than a slice of Swiss cheese. The FBI was quick, too quick, to drop some blurry surveillance footage of a person of interest. And just like that, they pin the whole thing on a young man named Tyler Robinson. Now, they're saying his DNA was found on the rifle trigger, on the rooftop, on everything but the clouds. Sounds a little too convenient, don't you think? And get this, apparently his own parents recognized him from those fuzzy pictures and turned him in. Because we all know how easy it is to identify your son from a low-res security cam shot taken from 3 blocks away, right? Please. The media painted Tyler as this deranged lone wolf, but people online aren't buying it. They're calling him the fall guy, a name they could slap on the case to wrap it up fast and make everyone move on. Meanwhile, the same officials who fumbled the investigation are acting like the case is closed. Baby, this whole thing smells like a cover-up. The FBI wanted someone to blame, and Tyler Robinson was the perfect target. Young, disposable, and quiet. But if you listen close, you can hear the truth creeping through the cracks. Candace Owens ain't buying it. Now, baby, if there's one thing you can count on, it's Candace Owens running her mouth when something smells off. And she has been screaming from the rooftops that this whole situation with Charlie's death doesn't add up, not one bit. According to Candace, Tyler Robinson isn't the villain here. He's just a pawn. The real players? Billionaires with global reach and 0 souls. She called them out straight up, saying they tried to pressure Charlie into pushing their agenda on Israel, and when he refused, that's when things started getting dark. Picture this. A friendly billionaire named Bill Ammon invites Charlie to the Hamptons for what's supposed to be an intervention. But it's not friends and feelings, it's threats and manipulation. They surrounded him, they offered him money, they tried to buy his voice, and when he said no, the threats turned real. Candace says Charlie told her he wasn't backing down, that he'd rather lose everything than become their puppet. And days later, he's gone. Just like that. And Candace didn't hold back either. She went on a full-blown rant, dragging these billionaires for filth. "Do what we say or we'll ruin your life," she mocked them. She called them demonic, soulless, spiritually rotten. Baby, she didn't just spill tea, she poured the whole pot. So while the FBI's out here waving around DNA samples and grainy photos, Candace is out here saying, "Nah, y'all looking in the wrong direction. Follow the money. That's where the truth is." The billionaire agenda and Erica's strange moves. Now, this is where the plot thickens, baby. Because while Candace is out here connecting dots and calling out billionaires, Erica's moves just keep getting weirder. The minute Candace went public questioning Charlie's death, Erica didn't clap back. Oh no. She went quiet. Then she uninvited Candace from Charlie's own memorial service. You heard that right. The woman who stood by Charlie for years, the one friend who's been shouting something ain't right, suddenly gets cut off the list like she never existed. And that memorial? Phew. Erica was up there giving her little speech, calm as a cucumber, talking about how she forgives the man who took Charlie's life. But the delivery was off. No tears, no cracking voice, not even a pause to breathe. It was like she'd rehearsed it in front of a mirror 10 times over. And baby, the internet noticed. People were saying her speech felt cold, staged, and strategic. And just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, she's spotted hugging up on Donald Trump at the same event. Not a polite handshake, no. Full-on cuddling, smiling, whispering in his ear while her husband's body's barely in the ground. Meanwhile, Candace is fuming online, saying Erica only banned her to keep the billionaire donors happy. Because, let's be real, Charlie's death hit the people funding his movement a little too conveniently. So, here's the question nobody wants to ask. Was Erica grieving her husband or protecting the people who wanted him gone? Candace claps back and starts digging deeper. See, you can't silence Candace Owens. Not with a snub, not with a scandal, not with billionaire money. The moment she got iced out of that memorial, sis went nuclear. She jumped online, dragging Erica's performance for filth and calling out everyone pretending not to see the cracks in this story. Candace said, "You mean to tell me, the one woman asking questions about her husband's death gets uninvited, and y'all think that's normal?" Baby, she wasn't having it. Then she started dropping bombs. On her Instagram stories, she claimed she's got receipts, saying Tyler Robinson, the man sitting in custody right now, is innocent. She swears the FBI's story is straight-up fiction. The photos are fake. The so-called confession never happened, and the whole his parents turned him in narrative? Fabricated. According to Candace, Tyler's never even stepped foot on the UVU campus, where the shooting supposedly went down. And those Discord messages the FBI said came from him? She says they're planted. Planted, y'all. And it didn't stop there. She accused the feds of twisting the story to make it look like Tyler had mental health issues, calling it a federal concoction. Candace said she verified her info but couldn't reveal her sources, which only made people more curious. One thing's for sure, she's not backing down. She's promising more evidence, more names, and she's calling out the soulless elites who think they can bury the truth along with Charlie. So, while Erica's out here smiling for cameras, Candace is out here digging graves, and baby, she's about to start naming who's getting buried next. Jaguar Wright enters the chat. Just when the internet thought it couldn't get any wilder, boom. Jaguar Wright jumps in. And if you know Jaguar, then you already know. When she speaks, she's not holding nothing back. Jaguar went live and said, "Candace ain't lying, y'all. The feds are playing games." According to her, Tyler Robinson isn't the killer. He's just the cover-up. She claims the FBI is using him to protect the real players, the billionaires, the elites, and yes, Erica Kirk herself. But Jaguar didn't stop there. Oh no, baby. She started breaking it all the way down. She said Erica was not just some grieving wife, but allegedly tied to foreign intelligence. Like, we're talking spy-level infiltration. According to Jaguar, Erica was planted in Charlie's life from the start, groomed to get close to him, study him, and when the time came, help take him out. And y'all, she came with forensic talk. She's analyzing footage, breaking down blood spatter patterns, comparing it to the JFK shooting, saying there's no way the official story lines up. Jaguar basically said, "Look at the footage. No blood.
No chaos. No logic.
It was clean, too clean." Then she hinted that the hit was professional, not random. So now, between Candace's billionaire theory and Jaguar's spy wife angle, the internet's out here connecting dots nobody even knew existed. And whether you believe it or not, one thing's for sure. This story's gone from a tragedy to a full-blown conspiracy thriller. The final question: what really happened to Charlie Kirk? So here we are, baby, at the end of this tangled web of grief, greed, and God knows what else. Charlie Kirk, a man who built his whole brand on being loud, fearless, and unapologetically political, ends up silenced.
Publicly. Brutally.
And somehow, the people closest to him are the quietest ones in the room. The FBI's story doesn't line up. The shooter doesn't add up. The wife, acting a little too polished. The billionaires, way too comfortable. And now we've got whispers of private jets, foreign agents, and billion-dollar secrets floating around like smoke you can't see, but sure can smell. Jaguar Wright says it was a professional hit. Candace Owens says it was a billionaire cover-up. The FBI says it was just another tragic shooting. And Erica Kirk? She's out here smiling, quoting Bible verses, and forgiving a man who might not have even pulled the trigger. Now, baby, I'm not saying I know what really happened that day, but something about this story don't sit right. The timeline, the behavior, the silence, it's all too neat, too clean, too controlled. So the real question isn't just who pulled the trigger, it's who ordered it. And if the internet detectives are right, then this isn't just about Charlie Kirk. This is about the machine behind the scenes. The people who think they can play God with other people's lives and rewrite the truth while the rest of us scroll past. But one thing about the truth, baby, you can bury it, you can buy it, but you can't kill it. Now, I don't know how deep this rabbit hole goes, but trust me, the streets are talking, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes knocking.